We are live from the Giant Bomb Studios in San Francisco, California. It's the Byte Extra Crunchy Podcast with your host, Mr. Brian Tong.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Byte Extra Crunchy. We are at episode 59, still grinding, 59 grind.
59.
Extra crunchy, extra munchy. This is the show all about Apple, everything, the latest news, additional stories, news stories from our video podcast. You know that show. This is a complimentary piece. It's also a more organic, fluid conversation where we get to talk to you all. And again, you make the show what it is. So how can you all participate? We do the show live, so you can follow us on Twitter at Brian Tong or Stephen Beecham at is yours at Stephen Beecham?
At Stephen Beecham, yeah.
Yeah,
or with a PH.
We almost should, quite honestly, create our own tweet called Beach and Tong.
Yes.
Or something along those lines.
We could be riding a giant joint with the Apple logo on it.
Oh, totally. I like that. Use the Apple for something.
Yes.
You know. You guys can call us at 1-800-616-2638. Leave your name, your number, not your number. Name.
Someone did.
Someone did. Leave your name, where you're from. We also actually like you to add on and contribute to the progression of the show. And what I mean by that is a lot of you have questions that you want to have answered. But for example, last week we talked about AI, and we didn't actually have any calls about artificial intelligence this week. I'm curious what you guys think about that. Is Apple behind it? So when we have a topic of a show or a topic that becomes kind of at the forefront and becomes an important thing that we go back and forth about, we want to hear what you guys think so you can contribute to this. Again, this is your show just as much as it is ours.
Yes, we need the hive mind.
We love the hive mind. And
yes.
You guys have contributed plenty of time. So let's get to the show. A lot of stories going on here right now. I think the number one most pent up demand when it comes to Apple products is everyone is asking about the MacBooks. When are the new MacBooks coming? When will we see them? We talked about it, a little bit about it last week, how Apple changed their dates for their earnings report. They moved it from October the 27th to the 25th. So MacBooks are clearly on our mind. All the rumors and rumblings are saying that Apple may indeed actually announce new MacBooks on the 27th of October. That would be a Thursday, I believe. I have to double check my calendar.
That's a Thursday, yep.
So for those of you who are looking around, wondering what to do, just wait around then and we'll answer some questions in our phone calls. But just to give you the current state of why Apple needs these so much, Apple Mac shipments slid 13% in quarter 3 of this year, along with an overall PC market slowdown. Now, why is that important? So this is, if you compare them to where they were at last year, Apple Mac shipments slid 13%. Now, the overall industry, when we just talk about PCs as a whole, slid around 5-ish%. Okay, but Apple is at 13%. That's a big jump. We know Apple hasn't upgraded their MacBooks for a long time.
Yes.
We know a lot of you are waiting for the next thing. For me, all the rumors point to this new MacBook Pro with an OLED touch bar, and I think it's cool. I do. I really want to see how cool it actually is. I don't know, though, if that's enough for me to buy a new laptop. I think that now these days, it's about just giving us the most powerful laptop. We always want new features. I still think it's really cool, but we've seen this done in gaming laptops from a Razer. It's not, even if they put Touch ID on it, we are in what's called the post-PC era. PC shipments overall have declined consecutively the past 8 quarters. Okay, overall, the industry overall. What does that tell you? What are you guys using your devices for the most? I wonder. I wonder what you guys are using the most right now.
Yeah, exactly.
The phone?
Exactly.
The phone. The phone is the computer.
Laptops like a very secondary thing right now. You know, it's like, I mean, we use them for work, but personal use, it's like, I have a phone. I don't really need a laptop.
If you're into content creation, you're using a computer of some sort.
Yes.
And
definitely.
yes, you are using it for email and whatnot, but this whole idea that it's going to just change the fortunes of Apple by releasing an OLED touch bar Mac, it's not going to happen. It just isn't. It will. The Mac line has always been kind of an unsaid piece of the puzzle to their earnings. It's part of the puzzle. They bring in, I think if I recall right, man, I shouldn't. Actually, I don't want to go on a limb and throw out a number of how many millions of dollars it makes up per quarter, because I'm going to be wrong right now. I just don't want to spit out. But I believe it makes up somewhere around like still 25% of their overall earnings, somewhere around 20 to 25%. And that's a big chunk. You can't just abandon that. So the market overall is down. But let's talk about that phone thing, the iPhone. Maybe there's better, greener pastures ahead, at least for the iPhone. According to Apple Insider's report from investment firm UBS, we know that iPhone sales have declined last quarter. They're most likely going to decline again this quarter. But momentum, according to UBS, from the current iPhone 7 is going to help carry them into 2017. They report or estimate that it will spur an 8% unit growth for the fiscal year of 2017. Fiscal year technically starts basically this Q4 of 2016 is Q1 fiscal year of 2017. So those last 3 months, October, November, December is Q1 fiscal quarter.
I see.
Although in our regular calendar, it is Q4 of the year. So they expect a 8% unit growth. And then, of course, we like to talk about the iPhone X, iPhone Future, iPhone 8. Or please don't make it the iPhone 7S. That would just don't do that. That would just be stupid.
That'd be a big no.
No. According to them, also in 2018, they expect to see a 16% year-over-year growth in units purely because of the iPhone. I know some people are like saying, "Oh, the iPhone's going to get a whole bunch of lift because the Galaxy exploded twice."
That's what I was going to say.
I don't know if it's going to be that big of a lift, quite honestly. I think Android overall, other Android manufacturers are going to see the biggest gains from this whole Samsung debacle.
So people will not go to an iPhone. They're going to go to like a Galaxy S7
Some will,
or something like that.
Some will, but I don't think it's going to be like, 50% of Samsung Note users are going to go get an iPhone now.
Yeah.
I think it might be maybe 10%, maybe
well, a lot
15%.
of those people are touting like the Note 7 was the most advanced
It
phone
was.
in the world.
It was.
And now it's not being made anymore. So what's the next most advanced phone in the world? The iPhone 7?
How about this? It depends on what you're looking at. For example,
True.
If you want, it's going to start coming down to certain features. Do you want the best AI in a phone? Well, we talked about that last week. That's the Google Pixel.
That's the Google
right?
Pixel, yeah. Best camera, what is that?
Yeah,
Was
best
it
camera,
toss-up between the
arguably.
Pixel, right?
Yeah, arguably, according to DxO Mark, who rates these cameras, they say and they believe that the Pixel camera is also the best rated camera overall in a mobile device ever, highest score ever.
That's pretty big.
So, it doesn't mean though. Here again is the always. It doesn't mean that phone is the best phone for you.
Yes.
Like,
it's not for me.
Like,
it's not for me.
Just because a phone has the best specs doesn't mean it's the best phone for you.
True.
Like my mom, bless her. Like I don't even know. Yeah, Mrs. Mama Tong. I don't even know what iOS version she's using right now. She might even be using 8 for all I know. Like,
do you help her out with that stuff?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I didn't know there were features on the iPhone like increasing the font size to as large as possible. I didn't know font. Yeah. I didn't know the font could get that large. How about that? Let's just put it that way.
That's funny.
I'm like, what is going on here? But a Pixel phone is not going to be a good phone for my mom. There, no matter what, it's just not.
Because of the usability.
Usability, her changing. Okay, even when you just upgrade her phone, it's like teaching someone. It's not even teaching someone how to ride a bike.
How to launch
it's
a
like
nuclear weapon or something.
Teaching someone how to crawl and then walk. It's not even like
easy.
a bike. No, it's really hard. So, Apple iPhone 8, iPhone X, iPhone Future, whatever you want to call it, prospects obviously look pretty good. And then there were a few patents that were thrown around this past week about a new super resolution camera with this folded design that may aid in saving space as well as provide better zoom and image quality. And then there was another patent that was granted to Apple recently, just overall about new display tech that really points to the fact that this next phone or a future phone will have an edge-to-edge glass display, but completely no black bezel whatsoever.
Cool.
We'll see.
That would look kind of cool.
We'll see. This stuff is always, we'll see. We'll see how this is. If you want to talk about the future, though, and kind of one of the talking points for our show this week, Tim Cook interviewed recently by BuzzFeed News, and BuzzFeed is getting a lot of access to Tim Cook recently. I've noticed this because I follow this.
He's a fan.
He's a fan, for sure. Tim Cook talked about Apple's augmented reality ambitions. Now, Cook in the past has alluded to the fact that he and Apple prefer augmented reality over virtual reality. Cook told BuzzFeed News there's no substitute for human contact, and so you want the technology to encourage that. We are high on AR for the long run. I think AR can be huge. And he also echoed these comments earlier during an ABC interview, and he said this in earnings reports as well. Virtual reality, is exploding now, taking you away into these new worlds and experiences. We have the HTC Vive, we have the Oculus Rift, and the PlayStation VR just came out. Now, I own a PS4.
Have you tried it?
I haven't tried. Well, I've tried it in its earlier form, but I'm going to get one purely because if I had to choose one, I would most likely, based on my experiences, I would want an Oculus Rift from a hardware standpoint, okay? Because they have these crazy touch controls. But it's going to cost me a PC and a setup. It's probably going to cost me around $2,000, $3,000.
Easy.
Well, guess what? I have a PS4, and to get a more than capable, above average VR experience on a PS4, it only cost me $500 more bucks. So what do you think?
Boom.
What are you gonna do?
I got a PS Quattro.
What are you
I'm
gonna
gonna
do?
get one.
Right?
Hell yeah.
Why would you not if you have a PS4 when you know that the tech is only gonna get better? Are you really gonna drop 3 Gs on this right now? And I get early adopters. I love you because you have to. We need early adopters, and man, I'd be the first to tell you I'm an early adopter in different things.
Yeah, totally. We need all the feedback and stuff. But one of my old homies from GameSpot, Ryan McDonald, he was tweeting about playing Batman Arkham Asylum.
Don't spoil
in VR.
that. Don't spoil that for me.
So
Okay?
I mean, right there,
Don't spoil that.
like how much are they? How much are they? I need them.
The setup, basically the full setup is $500.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. It's supposed to be comfy. They say the resolution is a little lower than your screen, so it can bother you, but they say it's good enough. I think that this whole rumbling of a PS4 Pro is going to help amp up that graphic fidelity through the headset. But again, we're going to talk.
Improve.
Yeah, it'll improve. But again, Apple's not playing in VR. They want to play in AR. Tim Cook has always referenced Pokemon Go as like a great AR experience. And come on, it was. But this is BuzzFeed also outlined some of the little steps that Apple has taken that point to the fact that they are really deep into some of this AR stuff. But again, Apple has yet to connect the dots to put anything out there like that. We know this in 2013, Apple acquired a company called PrimeSense. This was the company that was behind the Xbox Kinect technology. They built the Xbox Kinect cameras. Apple acquired that company. So that was like the original gaming hardware. Dance Central is one of my favorite games of all time.
Awesome game.
So good, right? So they acquired that company in 2013. In May of 2015, Apple also acquired a German augmented reality firm called Medeo. A few months later, they snapped up FaceShift. They're the company behind real-time motion capture technology used in Star Wars, the movies. They recently poached a VR research scientist, Yuri Petrov from Facebook's Oculus division. They also acquired a gentleman from Magic Leap, which Magic Leap is the bomb. Magic Leap is
the bomb.
Their goal of an augmented reality of basically looking wherever you are and not only just getting information, but experiencing things like a whale jumping out of a floor as if it was on the ocean.
Yes,
like just
super cool stuff.
The stuff that we've seen from them is pretty wild.
Let's see if we can find something.
So Apple has done a lot of these different things. They have built a team of people to work on augmented reality, and they believe it is the platform. And really, Tim Cook is not hiding anything from us. This is what they are going to do to move forward when it comes to this space. And I do agree with virtual reality, you're locked away from people, but then we see a lot of games where people are sitting around a TV, seeing what the person sees, laughing with them while they're in a VR experience.
This is a Magic Leap demo.
Yeah.
Like a robot underneath
a table. Like underneath the fidelity is pretty ridiculous.
It is pretty ridiculous looking.
So we'll see.
Find the whale thing. But.
You know what they're gonna call their augmented reality platform, right?
I have no.
Apple Reality. Apple Reality. I just came up with that just now. It's gonna be called Apple Reality.
I was saying I hope it's not gonna be like eye reality or something. Or eye goggles.
Dude, it's gonna be Apple Reality. I ish you not. I swear that's what they're gonna do. That's terrible. Terrible. We'd like to take this moment to tell you that we don't have a word from our sponsor. In fact, it's just me and Beecham.
Yes. We are the sponsor right now.
But
CNET is a sponsor.
CNET is a sponsor. Is our sponsor in life.
Yes.
But there's rumblings that we might be getting someone next episode.
Next week, baby.
We're still in business.
Oh, yeah.
We're always in business. So I just want to take a breather. We have some more stories here, all in the Apple world. You know, Tim Cook was talking about how he wants an experience where, look, it's a shared experience. We like augmented reality. We should be able to reach out and touch things and be a part of it. I don't know if they're taking this too far, but maybe they're applying some of this. We want people to reach out and touch our products in stores. This is just recently happened in store openings. There's a redesigned Regent Street store in London, England that was just reopened, as well as Apple's Yorkdale location in Toronto, Canada. Apple is no longer tethering, and this is for those of you watching, there's some great shots of the Regent store. Apple is no longer tethering their phones with that kind of like annoying
cable
like magnetic sticky thing
cable
that was on there, and if you pulled it off it sent an alarm. They are completely just letting the products be so you can grab and hold them. And I will tell you this from someone who worked at an Apple's retail store during its first about 2 years. They may think that this is a good idea.
It's not a good idea.
But when they first started doing that in our stores, it was not a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, when I first heard about that, I was like, there's going to be some people running out of the store with phones and people tackling people and violence.
If you have ever worked in a retail store, first things first, okay, when someone steals something, you have to actually catch them in the act and basically talk to them, but you can't accuse them of stealing.
Oh, really?
You can't. They can put something in their pocket and you can talk to them. They can even walk out the store, but unless you see them and approach you, there's not much you can actually do to stop someone from stealing something.
So you have to have full probable cause.
It's not even probable cause. Even if you say, I saw you steal that, hand it over, they can say, I didn't steal anything and walk away. They literally can't. We were told never to chase anyone because you never know if someone was around the corner and knocking you out. I'll tell you one of the greatest stories that I know, and I'm not encouraging this, but in Apple retail thievery. Okay, so during the holiday season, they would put all the boxes of the iPods stacked against the wall, and people could walk up and just grab one box and say, hey, I want to buy this. They wanted it to feel really accessible. Okay, homeboy came to our store in a trench coat, walked up to the counter, leaned forward and extended his trench coat around roughly 6 to 8 iPods, grabbed them, pulled them in his trench coat, and walked out the store.
And you guys all saw him do this and you couldn't do anything?
A couple people saw him do it.
So what happens? You just get his picture on camera?
Yeah, and you hope to find him next time, but you still can't.
Wow.
You can't. There's a difference between stealing from someone's house versus stealing from a retail store.
Yeah, totally.
But it just is really hard. So all I'm saying is this whole idea of untethering things is not a good thing.
It sounds like it's inviting problems.
Oh, everyone has like a loss prevention percentage.
Was it just last week we had that guy going through the Apple store just smashing all those phones? And they were tethered.
Oh, yeah. And we know, look, there's not enough security. All you have to do is just run in there, grab a couple, and run out. Oh, well. I guess their whole thing is like, oh, we got iCloud, find my iPhone on it. So you might actually not want to do that.
That's funny.
I'm just saying. So that's one thing that they're doing. If you want to, it looks like and appears that the iPhone 7 Plus in jet black is now widely available in U.S. stores. We're talking about everywhere from major cities, Chicago, H-Town, Los Angeles. I know I'm showing you. I'm giving you all shout outs. Miami, New York, Philly, San Diego, San Francisco. The iPhone 7 Plus jet black appears to be readily available in these stores.
Wow, northern middle America, they're just like no Apple store in sight. Look at that.
Yeah, there's also no people.
There's no people. Remember flying over there?
I got nothing but love for you, Montana and North Dakota. I got nothing but love for you. Okay,
we love you.
Apple Byte loves North Dakota and Montana.
I remember I flew over all those states coming back from Detroit, and all I could see was just white.
Yeah,
just white ground.
Yeah, I want someone from North Dakota or Montana to give us a call, just to show this love back, because holla at a player. We also have Apple quietly updating their website and confirming that the Nike Plus Apple Watch is going to launch on October the 28th. This is kind of the more sport-geared Nike partnership, Nike branded Apple Watch with some customizable faces and really some interface stuff, but really it's still an Apple Watch, and it has that sporty band with like the Volt and white and black and grays. It's cool if that's, if you want to use it like that. I think it's pretty neat, and that tracks your metrics and displays them on what I assume to believe is a custom watch face that you can only get with a Nike Plus watch, because the Nike Plus app exists and you don't have those faces. So that's coming out on October the 28th. And then just to follow up with Samsung and Apple, we know they've been going back and forth since 2011 over these patent infringements and swipe to unlock. Your phone looks like my phone. Recently, this past week, their case finally made it to the Supreme Court for an appeal. Basically, Samsung is appealing the fact that they owe Apple basically all of their profits from the phones that they sold that were found to be violating these patent infringements or infringing on Apple's patents. Let me just say that properly. So the Supreme Court justices, a few of them right off the bat said, we can see how there might be a similarity, but it's not like someone bought a Samsung phone entirely thinking that it was because it looked like an Apple phone. They probably also bought it for other reasons, right? It might have a few other features. It's an Android phone.
That's a good point.
No, really, right? Even though it kind of looks like it,
yeah,
it's not like, come on. No one's like, no
one's trying to trick anybody here.
They might have stolen some of their design,
This is what smartphones look like.
So ultimately, it's going to be about 2 or 3 months for the Supreme Court to finally rule on this aspect of the case. They will then send it back down to the lower courts to decide the final amount that Samsung owes Apple. This has been going on since 2011, people.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just interesting how 2016, Samsung's phone, who was arguably finally going to surpass what the iPhone did, exploded twice.
So sad.
So sad. So yeah, Note 7, they're not winning. Not very much.
They were for a minute.
They were. So, that's a lot of the stuff. I think that we should just go hit up the voicemails and see what you all are talking about. And
all right.
You guys make this show what it is, so let's do it.
Thank you for calling. Here we go.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm calling from Tamworth in New South Wales, Australia. Brian Beecham, great show by the way. Listen guys, I just wanted to ask you quickly. I've got a MacBook Pro now that I've had for about 5 years, and I just feel as though it's time for me to upgrade. Should I be waiting for anything? Have you heard any news about the new MacBook Pros yet? Or should I upgrade now? Considering that I don't need performance in a big way, it's only sort of like a work machine, could I downgrade to say something like a MacBook Air and be happy with that? Great show, guys. Look forward to your answer. Cheers.
I think the best answer for a lot of people is, look, always wait for new product announcement because the current stuff gets lower in price. Yes. Refurbished stuff gets lower in price. If you just need a basic computer and you don't need anything high, anything processor intensive or RAM intensive, just wait till the new ones come out and then look for scoops on the refurbished sites. Like, you have to literally do it right after they announce it, though.
Right after? I was going to say,
right after.
Do you want to wait like a week or something for them to adjust pricing or
anything
like that?
A lot of times they will already adjust pricing right when it happens.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, do it.
Do it.
If you're in that spot.
Cool. Okay, next call.
Hey guys, this is Josue from New York. I was just wondering, what do you guys think would happen if Tim Cook wasn't the CEO anymore? Like, what would happen if he quit? Who would take his job? All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.
Now, at first, when we talked about this, Beach, you were like, I don't know, who cares, right? Right? Do you have an opinion, Beach?
I don't really. Like, who would replace him? Like,
quite honestly, I don't know, but I will say this. It led me to think, and I've been thinking about this a long time, once Steve Jobs passed, everyone said, oh, Johnny Ive is still there. He's the great designer. He is the one that makes Apple designs and what Apple is. Okay, let's look at this objectively. Do you think would Steve Jobs, would he have ever approved of the iPhone battery pack to look like that?
No.
There is no way.
He was
There's
all
just
about
no
beauty.
way.
He's all about perfection,
Clean lines,
beautiful.
and you know what he would say? Go back to the drawing board. There's plenty of stories of how nitpicky Steve Jobs was. For those of you that don't know, even if you remember the when the iMac took on this whole new design that had that movable neck that you could move around, that was inspired not by Johnny Ive, but because Steve Jobs saw a sunflower and said, let's make a computer that looks like a sunflower. Okay? That was his idea. And you know it was him who like grabbed the neck of it and said, this is good enough. Okay. Johnny Ive's 2 designs that are his and his alone have been the iPhone battery case, or at least under his watch.
Seriously.
And the AirPods. The AirPods. Okay? The iPhone battery case and the AirPods.
I think this is the battery case. It's
The
huge.
Apple Watch, I think a lot of people, some people debate, why didn't you make a round watch? I think the Apple Watch is cool. I don't think it's anything we haven't seen before. It's literally just the rounded corners of an app. And if that's good enough, that's fine. I actually really do enjoy the Apple Watch. But from a standpoint of like, who approved the iPhone battery case? You can't tell me that's good design.
I know.
You can't.
And it was also
It's atrocious.
like fixing a problem with their battery life, which points out something negative about the phone, like having a crappy battery. So,
and I mean, I just need to point that out. So I don't even think Johnny Ive said that he always wanted to make like cups, like when he was done with Apple, he'd like to make like cups.
well, he just redesigned the grocery bags.
They
So
did
it's close.
the store bag. The store bag. That was another great innovation that is that received a patent from Apple. So I do not dislike Johnny Ive, but there's other things like, okay, Apple Pencil. Hey, bro, like you're gonna have it stick out of your Lightning port. Sorry, and there's no place to put it other than it just sticks around. You guys didn't say, hey, maybe we should just copy Microsoft and put magnets on it so that it doesn't get lost. Like.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's been a clear disconnect. So, still love you, but who made the iPhone? Who approved the iPhone battery case? I still don't get that.
Yeah.
Like there were a group of people in a room, and they all were like, "Yeah, this is great. This is okay.
It looks great. Let's put it out. Sweet.
That's a bad apple." All right, next call. Wait,
right.
did I answer his? Oh yeah, I did
we
answer his
went
question.
off. Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
go.
I did.
Good rant, man.
I'm just saying.
Hey guys, this is Ant from Philly. Love the show. I had a quick question for you guys. I want to buy a Mac. I do not know which one to buy. I wanted to get your thoughts on it. I'm not a heavy gamer. I'm not doing any type of editing or anything like that, video editing or anything like that. I just kind of wanted a Mac for everyday use. I do have the iPhone and the Apple Watch and the Apple TV, so I'm in the ecosystem. So I wanted to get a Mac, but I don't know which one to get. Thanks, guys.
All right, my man. I think that it sounds like you want a portable and you don't want a desktop, so that's clear. How about this? For my use, it's always going to come down to screen size, what you're comfortable with.
Yes.
If you're doing multimedia, screen size is king. That will dictate it. I'm not a fan of the super slim MacBook yet because I just don't think it's powerful enough. It's actually kind of slow. So maybe it's a 13-inch new MacBook Pro that they end up coming out with that fits you, or you can get the current MacBook Retinas when they get lower in price, because if you're not doing anything high power, these guys have more than enough power for you.
Retina has been really good for me.
Retinas are dope.
It's fast. The only thing I don't like is the body.
Yeah, it's like a little too chunky.
No, it's like sharp. I've
Yeah,
talked
yeah,
about
the
it
edges,
before.
the
It's
sharp
like-
edges.
Yeah, but it's fast. It works, and the screen looks amazing.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So, maybe just tweet me and we could get into it more, because whenever someone asks me what computer I should buy, I do want to know what you do, but it even goes beyond that.
Yes. Yeah.
It always goes. There's way
It's a
more to it
lifestyle
than that.
choice.
There's way more to it than that. And maybe you're the type of person that could just do an iPad Pro even. Shoot, I don't know.
iPad Pro.
iPad Pro.
I like a small screen personally. Like these PCs right in front of me.
Yeah.
I dig these.
You dig them. You dig them.
Good size here.
All right, next call.
All right, next call.
Hi, my name is Helen, and I'm calling from New York City. Love your shows. So I'm a big fan of a small size smartphone. I know it's not a trend going on nowadays. That's why I was very thrilled when Apple made iPhone SE. Currently, I have the phone and I love it. Awesome battery life, and it does everything that I need to do with the phone. Do you think Apple will continue making 4-inch smartphone? Thank you.
I think it's not going away anytime soon. It's actually a big moneymaker for them.
Yeah.
They couldn't even keep it in stock for at least I think 2 or 3 months. Their inventory was low on it. So my niece uses the 5-inch an iPhone SE, and it's more than capable for her.
Yeah, I mean, it's like just holding in your hand, you could tell a big difference. It's much easier. Like, I'm still complaining about my 6S. I know I talked about going to the SE, but I'm just too lazy to like go through that trouble to do it, you know? But
wait, why don't you like your 6S?
Because it's just too big. Yeah, it's too big, baby. You know, it's like I've gotten used to it though. I've gotten like more comfortable balancing it when I push buttons while I'm walking.
I've heard that a few times with my iPhone.
Yes.
With my iPhone.
Okay, last call.
Hi, this is Martin from Raleigh, North Carolina, calling again. This is a question for both Stephen and Brian, both of you two, but I would like you two to answer individually and with your own opinions. So, in your opinion, what was the best Apple promo or advertisement video that has ever been publicly available? For example, you can pick from the 1984 commercial or from the iPhone 4 promo video. Would love to know your thoughts. Love the show. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, I thought this was a fun question. So it's the best Apple TV ad or promo that you can remember or ad campaign. If you're watching and you can chime in with yours, there's plenty. I think no matter what, right, the Super Bowl 1984 ad has even been rated as the most iconic television commercial of all time.
Yeah, it kind of looks like today, like what's happening right now.
You mean how we're just like
present
slaves to our computers?
Yeah, everyone's just staring at a screen.
I mean, I've seen that glazed look on people's faces before.
Yeah.
But so let's get this out of the way. The 1984 commercial is the best one, but I think there were several memorable ones. Unfortunately, Apple hasn't done a memorable commercial in at least 4 or 5 years, and I'll talk to you, and we'll talk about why. Beecham, what was some of your favorite ones? Or which was the campaign that sticks out in your mind?
So yeah, when I was thinking about it, and I did like a little search on YouTube, and I found these guys. Justin
I'm a Mac,
Long,
I'm a PC.
Yeah, Justin
That was
Long
great. That was a great
and John
campaign.
Hodgman, and these are brilliant because
These are great.
They really like pointed out problems with the PC and things that Mac would help out with.
What exactly do you mean by better?
By better, I mean making a website or photo book is easy for me, and for you, it's not.
Oh, that kind of better.
Guess what they're talking about right there? They're talking about iLife. And everyone asks about iLife because they did photos and movies.
Oh, look, here's another iLife commercial.
Yeah, it's just a little something to hold my slow jams.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and it works so seamlessly with iTunes.
Sorry.
So the Get a Mac campaign where they personified the Mac and the PC platforms was a good one. I also, ads that stuck out in my mind, I remember, and it was kind of playing off on the... well, there's a few, actually. Okay, let's talk about... When they had the MacBook Pro 17-inch screen. It was the kind of the super big MacBook Pro, and it was a Yao Ming and Vern Troyer. It was it was the MacBook Pro. God, why can't I remember what it was called? It was the 12-inch screen. I can't see. There's things happen so fast.
Here it is.
It was Yao Ming and Vern Troyer.
Is this it?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of non-talking between them right now.
It's a silent movie.
Presenting the new 12-inch PowerBook, the world's most compact full-featured notebook computer. And the new 17-inch PowerBook, the world's first and only 17-inch notebook computer.
There you go.
Cool.
The PowerBooks, that was fun. They also had the very first MacBook Air where Steve Jobs He took it out of an envelope, but the TV ad actually showed it in an envelope. I thought that was actually kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But look, also, I mean, you can't talk about Apple ads without talking about their iconic, like iTunes colored silhouettes on music type stuff.
Yeah, like also just the music in the most recent like iPhone videos or commercials, like the music is iconic too. Like whenever I hear that kind of music, I'm like, oh, that sounds like an Apple ad. It's like very specific.
I will say though that Apple ads in general just have tanked off because they used to use Chiat Day, which was the advertising firm, and they worked closely with Steve Jobs to come up with some of these really cool campaigns, but they don't use them anymore, and that's why you see like the ads are kind of more like, I don't know, experiential. Like, okay, I get it.
Hip.
Like, they're trying to be like all hipster cool. I'm like, this is like I've seen this ad I've seen this ad a billion times.
Like selfies.
I've seen this ad a billion times. It's like boring. It's not creative. Like, quite honestly, I haven't seen a creative ad from Apple in at least 3 or 4 years. They even did an ad where they had like, I believe, and they got pulled immediately. It was someone from like the Genius Bar, and he was wearing like an Apple retail shirt. It was short-lived because they were so horrendous. It was just that bad.
I'm trying to search.
I don't even know if they exist.
Apple Genius ads, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. Like,
is this it?
Yes. Yeah, it was like, oh, this is such doo-doo.
What do you mean basically?
Basically, it looks like a Mac.
Great, and it came loaded with all the great apps like iPhoto, iMovie, GarageBand. Not ringing a bell, huh?
No.
Who sold this to you?
He did. Said he's basically an Apple genius.
No.
So this is nothing like a Mac.
Basically, no.
Yeah, terrible.
Worst effing ad ever.
Awful.
That's the type of crap that we got now. Like, dude,
he's trying to get that Justin Long energy that he can quite manage.
It's just garbage.
Horrible.
So, anyways, Apple ads, you need to step your game up, but I don't see it because there's no one that like is so emotionally tied to it the way that SJ was. And Chiat Day was honestly is one of the great advertising firms of all time. So,
yeah. So
there you go. Were there any other ones before we wrap
Not
things up?
that I can really think of. I mean, we pretty much covered some of the best ones.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I did actually think there was the very first iPod ad, and the only reason I liked it is because at the time it's a guy like dancing around, kind of in his apartment, and they show how he sings his music. At the time, no one really knew what an iPod was. No one knew what like an MP3 player could really do, and in a quick way, it just showed off what it could do. It was the very first iPod ad.
Let's see if we can find it.
See if you can. It's like the guy's kind of like, it's like a gray looking apartment. Like it's
I think I found it.
This is it.
It's kind of everyone in the country. You know what I'm saying?
He's just bumping the music. He's like syncing up his iTunes, dragging it over to his iPod. It's copying it over. And I own that iPod still today, and it works.
Cool.
He's just dancing now. Everyone who knows this, well, people that. Okay, he's dancing. He's just dancing way too much now. But again, you have to remember these are ads from that's like.
It's like 10 years
2000,
ago.
like I don't even know how long.
2001.
Like early 2000s.
2001.
It was 2001.
Yep.
Man, that iPod thing was a game changer for me.
Oh,
it was awesome. So, anyways, boys and girls, there you go. Just a little nostalgia to look back at some of those ads. That was a great question because it kind of just set that up for us. It was fun.
Yeah, it's totally.
It was really fun. Okay, you know what? If you guys want to continue to be a part of this show, again, all you have to do is just call us and leave your name, where you're from, your message, your commentary, 1-800-616-2638. But I think that's going to do it for this week, Beach.
That's it.
I think we're going home.
I'm playing
or
the music.
Some of us are. We're playing us out.
Playing it out.
Playing it out. All right. See you guys. Peace.
All right.
A garden of pure ideology, where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests, obeying contradictory thoughts. Our unification of thoughts is more powerful a weapon than any fleet or army. resolve one cause. Our enemies shall talk themselves to death, and we will bury them with their own confusion. We shall prevail.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.